All right, if you're just joining us, it's still your weekend. And like I mentioned earlier, we'll be talking fashion, talking about catching up on some very popular faces. And it's just going to be a fun time on your weekend. And now it's time for us to meet our very first guest. And she is none other than Anto Lecky. I'm sure you remember her from um, Big Brother Naija season 3. She was a housemate. It's good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So, how's it been?
That's always
How's life been since?
That's always the question, and I mean, well, thank God. I think that's the first way to answer the question.
Yes.
I mean, life has been, super interesting. You go from your office job to a reality show, and then the whole world knows you.
Exactly.
So yes, it's been a lot. I mean, yes, for me, it's been 6 years. I went on 2018, but still, every day is something new, something different. So yeah, it's been a great experience, but I'm glad now. Earlier, like way back then, it was a little bit more hectic than it is now. Yeah.
Okay. So, any projects that you're working on? I know you're also an actress.
Yes.
So, which movies?
Sure.
have you
So
featured
earlier
in?
this year, I was in 2 projects.
Okay.
One should be cinema, one should be television. So we're just waiting for those to come out. With Nollywood, never really sure. So
Mhm.
at some point we'll see those, and I'm sure I'll probably be back to promote those as well. Then my own personal things, when I went on Big Brother, I had always stated that I was using the platform to be able to use entertainment to push philanthropy and politics.
Okay.
I think, especially when we think about the younger generation, they're more interested in entertainment than world issues. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to combine the two.
Yeah.
So now I've been using my platform a lot for social change. I have my own NGO. I'm usually very available to influence for social causes. So yeah, that's my space right now.
Okay. And how has that been going?
I mean, it's great. It's what I've always wanted to do, and I'm grateful that I have the entertainment platform to do it. So I already have like an existing fan base. So I already have people to talk to. So it's a lot easier than trying to convince people or trying to figure out how to tell people about all the issues going on in the world.
Okay, so since you've been on Big Brother and you have had an amazing journey, what can you say about those who also use the same platform but haven't had such an amazing journey, or some aspiring people, they want their, is it 15 minutes of fame
Sure.
and all that? What would you say?
Sure. So I'll answer it 2 ways. I'll talk about previous housemates, and I try to tell people whenever I get an opportunity that we have to remember that the Big Brother platform is just a reality show. Fortunately or unfortunately for us in Nigeria, we have turned those reality stars into superstars or into celebrities. First and foremost, it's a game show. You win or you lose. You should be able to just go back home to your regular life. But in this, our culture and our climate, we're expecting every housemate to come out and just be all over the place. So I want people to reduce the pressure that they put on housemates. Not every single housemate that went on the show wants to be an entertainer. For example, my own season, the winner was Miracle. And we also wanted, Miracle take his winnings and go to pilot school. He never said he wanted to be an actor or any of those things. He took his winnings and he followed his dream. And he's not on anyone's TV. So we shouldn't think that every housemate should be in our faces. So when you don't see someone in your face, that doesn't mean that they're not successful or they're not making the best use of the platform. They're just making it in a way that is useful to their life trajectory. So don't think that because someone is not popping on social media, they're not going for events, and although they're not in films, doesn't mean they're not doing great. Everyone has their own life story. So then when we think about future housemates, incoming housemates, we even have a season coming up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, it's tough. There's no amount of advice that could prepare you for the show or for after the show. But I always say that after the show is way more important. In the house, you're almost not in control of anything that's going on. It is a social experiment. It's meant to break you down to your rawest form. So most likely you will do things that you don't do in your normal day-to-day life. So imagine not having your phone, not having social media, not having TV, not even having a pen and paper to write down your thoughts.
Wow.
The person that's annoying you, you see them every single day. You're going to react. You're a human being. So I want people to remember that housemates, whatever they do in the house might not really be their normal day-to-day self. They're pushed to the limit. So if you're a quiet person, you're going to be even more quiet in the house. And if you're a loud, rambunctious person, you're going to be even more loud in the house. So it's not so much about what happens in the house, but how you retell your story outside of the house. We've seen people who have lasted to the finale, and today we don't really know where they are. Doesn't mean that they're not being successful, but they're not in the limelight. We've also seen people to be the first evicted, and they're now hosting television shows. So, what really happens in the house isn't as important with how you're able to rebrand and use the platform to your success afterwards. I think that's way more important.
Awesome, awesome. So going back to movies, how has your experience been, acting in Nollywood movies?
Sure. I mean, I've always wanted to be on TV. I think at some point, every kid wants to be on TV. Maybe not your lifelong dream. I never wanted to be an actress or entertainer forever, but I knew I must be on TV at some point, So it's been great. And I think it's also been interesting being in Nollywood because, everything in Nigeria is always a Nigerian flair. There's always Nigerian effect. And luckily for me, last year was my first time I got an opportunity to actually be in a Hollywood film. And I saw a great difference. So being that experience has, definitely helped me and pushed me in wanting to now be more behind the scenes in Nollywood and try to get into, production. I've seen how you can create great product without having the whole Nigerian factor. So that was kind of like my biggest issue with Nollywood. I love the films, but just the being on set experience was a lot to deal with. So now that I'm getting in that realm where I think I can be in charge of productions myself, I definitely have way more experience on how to hopefully make them better.
Yeah. I understand how you feel because
Yes.
I prefer being behind the scenes.
Yes.
But once in a while, I have to.
You got your face.
I present.
Yes,
but
exactly.
I enjoy being in
Sure.
production and
Yes,
all that.
exactly.
So, what's your biggest? Would I say is it take home? What has been the biggest thing? What's made the biggest impact in your life and your career? From all the experiences
Sure.
you have had from acting and then
so many things. I would say, I know people sometimes ask us like, "Oh, if you got a chance to go back on Big Brother, would you go back?" I wasn't on the All-Star season, and I think they knew that I wouldn't have gone back. I got enough from the experience that I needed to, and I'll definitely say Big Brother was a life-changing experience for me. Besides what it did for my mental health, I won't get into that. I won't even get there. The fact that it was a social experiment in the house, but also the social experiment outside of the house. Being in the house, the platform taught me that I can actually relate with people that I normally wouldn't have related with. Like me, I'm usually used to people who, I have 2 master's degrees. So I'm used to people who have finished school, who have worked 9 to 5s, who are running businesses. That's my usual friend base. Yeah. But being in the house and being, forced to be friends with people that on a norm I probably would have never met, it had taught me that I can communicate and deal with any kind of person. Like no one, I never feel like anyone was above or below me, but now I can relate with anyone. I have friends that are younger than my siblings, now because of that platform. So it definitely taught me a lot about myself, that I could do these things. As in society, we kind of just stick to people around us, but it taught me that I can break free and be friends and communicate with. And I can stretch, beyond. There's places that I probably would have never gone to, but now I just work at them. I can do anything, like nothing, nothing bothers me anymore. So that was a great experience for me there. And then it also taught me about humans in general. We are very interesting. I always know that humans are, but we can be a lot. And knowing that humans can be a lot, it helps me like just kind of center myself to know that a lot people are dealing with so many things that I can just, when you're acting crazy, I can ignore you. I just know that maybe this is just your moment to vent. Maybe tomorrow you'll be normal. Yeah. So it kind of taught me to react less because I realized that everyone is just dealing with so many things. So the platform really helped me as a person, and of course, when you're a better person, you're a better professional. So that's what kind of that was like a jumping board for my entire career. Okay, so reading up on you, I saw that you enjoy cooking and dancing. Yeah. So yes, how has that been? As of late, I don't even leave my house anymore because Nigeria is tough. But when things are good, I love to go for a party. I love to club. I love to hang out, definitely. And cooking, it's cheaper to cook at home than to eat out. So, so yeah, I like to cook in the kitchen. But I grew up on America. Well, I grew up on Nigerian meals too, but I grew up in America. So I usually cook American meals at home because I can get Nigerian meals outside. So yeah. So do you, what do you call it? Are you adventurous with food? I can try anything. I'm 100. When they say I'm Sagittarius, and Sagittarius are known to be adventurous. I'm definitely very adventurous with food. I can try basically anything. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much. It's been fun. Thanks for having me. This chat with you, and I wish you all the best. Thanks so much for having me. Thank you. All right. And your weekend continues after this timeout.